It's good to see you. Hello, hello. Hey, Deb, how you doing? Hi, Susan. I see your little icon up there, or whatever those things are called. Profile pic. How you doing? Good to see all three of you lovely ladies. Got a lot on my mind today. I should have really called it an As the Crow Flies Day, but we'll see where they take us. We'll see where the spirits guide. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Shelby. Good to see all of you lovely people. Oh, I love y'all. Keep on coming, all these names of folks that we adore. Come on, come on. Constance! Yay! Mwah! I told Constance that we've been missing her, and I'm so glad she popped in today. I know that we've all had just, life kind of marching forward, but it is nice to check in with one another and just, yes, Deb, you're saying you're doing good, but you got that sinus infection going. Oh my God. I mean, my eyes are all red and chapped around both, because I'm constantly wiping my nose. My eyes are watering. I mean, it's just been a battle. It's been a battle that I'm kind of losing it. You see how wrinkly and red they are? I mean, I put a little powder on to lighten it up, but they are definitely chapped. It's been a really tremendously difficult cold. It's a virus, of course. It's not COVID, they say. But it certainly has taken a toll.
It's an ass kicker.
It's an ass kicker. Even Grymm, who is, relatively healthy and stays strong, he has been battling the same thing, and you feel good-ish one day, and then the next, and you're like, I'm on the mend, and people say, how are you feeling? And you're like, I'm feeling better. And then the next day, you feel like shit again. And poor Mist, she is also ill, and luckily she sleeps a lot. I just can't sleep like I could when I was a younger woman. I have a more difficult time. So, anywho, yes, here I am, 420-ish tarot. Tomorrow is our anniversary, Grymm and I. Did we figure out how many years we've been married?
All of them?
All of the years. All of the years we've been married. But yes, tomorrow's our anniversary, and we actually got married on November 11/11 at 11/11 at night. So, and tomorrow is Saturday, and we got married on Saturday, November 11th. So tomorrow it's sort of a kismet day for us. If you don't know what kismet is, look it up. It's a good word to know. Kizmet. Anyways, welcome to 420-ish Tarot. It is Friday the 10th.
5 years?
I think it's longer than that. We got married in 2016. Let's have Grymm do some quick math
7
here.
years.
Last year he completely forgot about it and earned himself a negative strike against his name, but he's earned it back this year because he was the one that remembered our anniversary is tomorrow before I did. So anyways, it's a perfect segue to go into what I want to talk about today, what we actually want to talk about. So welcome, everybody, old and new. I hope that if you're new here, I hope that you find something of use and that you might find your way stumbling back over here again. We try to meet every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 4:20. Yes, I do smoke marijuana, but no, I haven't been today because I just got other stuff going on. So, yeah. The reason I say that is I feel kind of funny sometimes because we call it 420-ish tarot, and you very rarely see me smoking anymore.
Well, part of that, I think, boils down to we're both a little uncomfortable about consuming flour in the bus or in the
we don't like to smoke inside the church. I know we will, but also maybe someday. But Christine is not a marijuana user, although she kind of is, because she also is sort of, but she doesn't like to say that. She doesn't smoke weed like Grymm and I tend to. But she doesn't, I know she wouldn't approve of us smoking in the church. So whenever we're here, we do not like to smoke inside. And that's just the way it is. So for a 20-ish tarot, until it's summertime again or springtime and I can be outside, you might not see a whole lot of 420ing going on, but never you worry, those of you that also partake, it is in the background. So I want to say hi to some folks, and I wanted to tell you, if you're new here, the way we usually do this is Grymm and I, my husband Grymm is over there. I'll show you. Here, wait, actually here. Grymm and Callie. Those hangers look nice behind you, honey.
Don't they though?
Yep. That's Grymm, the one on the left, and that's Callie, the one getting all the scritchings. Those are my two, and now you get me again. I want to say hi to folks, but we want to talk about, we usually have a topic. Today's is your moral compass. And then I usually pull a card or two. Sometimes Grymm does. Sometimes we both do. And that is for a group read. And then if I have a little energy left over, I sometimes will pull a card for individual people out there, like you. So if you're interested in that, stick around. You got to stick around until the end, though. Yeah, we'll see where we go from there. I'm going to pull another goddess card for us today, but I'm going to wait until we have this discussion to kind of see where it flows. But on the way to that discussion, I want to say hi to Christy Reed, hi Deb, hi Susan, hi Victoria, hi Shelby, hi Constance, hi Kimmy King, hi T, hi Sandra, hi Ann, nice to see you here, hi Jane, hi Angela, hi Shannon, Christina, and I think that's it.
Constance.
I said,
Deb?
yeah, okay. I said those two. Yep. Well, and if you're out there watching and you aren't saying hi, that's okay too. But I do hope you say something in the comments down there. Unless you're a scam artist, you can just keep on moving. You know, we don't need you to put those words down there that you have an important message from our loved ones or whatever. I don't know. They always say the same thing over and over again. But anywho, so yes, tomorrow is our anniversary, and how many years of bliss? 7?
7 years of married.
7 years of legally married bliss, and 18 or 19. This might be our 19th.
This is 19, I think.
Year of being together as a couple. And
an infinite number of years that we have been together and will be together again.
That's right, because Grymm and I are twin flames. And we both knew that about one another almost immediately when we met one another. As a matter of fact, pardon me, some of you have heard the story that the first time Grymm ever spoke to me on the phone, he took the phone from my sister Christine, who was at work at the same location as him. He took the phone from her, and his first words to me is, "How's my future bride?" And it was weird. That spark just It hit both of us at the same time. And for a while, we both tried to resist it too, especially him, I'll be honest. But I really wasn't looking for a relationship, and neither was he. So, there were things that we needed to figure out first. And we both knew that entering into a twin flame sacred contract meant that, we knew what the ramifications of that means. And for some of you that don't understand twin flame yet, no worries. The nutshell description of a twin flame relationship is, and this is a very nutshell version, okay? We can get much more into it if you'd like to have that discussion later. But in a nutshell, a twin flame relationship is when you meet a person that you are just so connected with right from the get-go that you just don't want to be apart anymore. And it's not a codependent thing, although it certainly can turn into something like that. But it does involve facing a lot of shadows. It does involve going down some deep, dark rabbit holes with people. And that whole ride or die concept, that's kind of what a twin flame is, except with a lot of love in your heart. It's not like you're forced into that situation and neither one of you are growing, or one is growing and one is stagnant. A twin flame relationship is when both flames come together, and together, this little ember and this little ember, when you put them together, burn brighter. It's a brighter flame. Some people say we have but one twin flame in the entire universe. We have many soulmates, but one twin flame. And that means that you don't always end up in a romantic relationship every lifetime. Sometimes twin flames spend several lifetimes apart. And then when they finally meet again, it can be really intense. Sometimes twin flame relationships burn one another out. They both burn too brightly, and they're not willing to do the emotional work that it takes to find that harmony, that balance between the two.
Yeah, we almost burned ourselves out.
We did almost burn ourselves out. Grymm and I are very much aware that we both have within ourselves a male side, a female side, that sacred masculine, that sacred feminine. But in our relationship, I tend to be the more feminine of the two of us, and Grymm tends to be the more masculine. That is not how they always work out. But there tends to be a balance within that relationship in some regard. With that kind of sexual overtone, I guess I'll say. Now, it's funny that we're talking about all of this today. And it's funny that the cup that we grabbed for my tea, I'm sorry, it's coffee today, says, I love you like I love my coffee. First in the morning or last at night, dark or sweet or both, right now and later and always and constantly. Twin flames are like that. You enjoy each other's company so much that you don't, when you get to a certain point, okay, they don't always start off that way. Sometimes they can start off a little tumultuous. This is because, when you enter a relationship, you're basically entering into a relationship that reflects how you feel about yourself as well. Think about that for a minute. Now, on the subject of community and how this all ties in with talking about twin flames and love relationships and, this soul journey we're taking together, and why our topic for today is moral compass. So Grymm and I live in the state of Michigan right now, and many of you know that. And there's been some controversy going on with a particular group that will remain unmentioned as far as their name goes. But very much like we have our community online, they have a community online. But they also have, in our opinion, they have some very, very unintegral ways of approaching the people that they work with, of delivering the message that they purportedly receive from Spirit. And Grymm and I wanted to say today, and I'm going to turn the phone around here in a minute and let him address this as well. This particular group of people, and I will say this, I don't know any of them personally. We are not involved with this group at all. As a matter of fact, I think it's been maybe suggested in my Facebook suggested groups, but if I joined it, I certainly don't interact with it. I don't think I joined it, though, because I'm not really drawn to that sort of energy. But they are certainly out there, and they are very much approaching spirituality. I just feel like they're kind of making the rest of us that are actually out here like doing this work and trying to really, I don't know, affect other people's lives. And all of us are doing it. You and I, we're way showers. We love our community. We love our families. We do our best to try to help folks and understand what they may be experiencing, feeling. And I'm not saying that this group that I'm not mentioning, I think that perhaps their initial concept for the group that they started may have indeed been to help people. They specifically focused on helping people find their twin flame relationships, but they also made promises that you would find your twin flame if you joined this particular group and took these classes. Now, to me, that just bends the wrong direction. To me, Grymm and I want to just always remind you, this is extremely important, so listen, right? We are all on our own sovereign spiritual journeys. I came into this world on my own. I'm going to go out by myself. I'm not saying there are not going to be other people waiting for me when I get there, but I'm saying
you're crossing the threshold.
My crossing the threshold on either end, I do it alone, and so do you. We are here to learn what we can, to figure out who we are as human beings, as folks involved in our communities and people that love other people. We are here to learn about love. As a matter of fact, I remember in the 90s, the folks that were the spiritual gurus at that time were saying that very thing. We're here to learn lessons about love and our own divinity. And within that has come this whole concept of the twin flame energy, soulmates, twin flames, and etc. I just want you, and Grymm wants you to know that we encourage you, if you need to reach out for clarity, if you need support in any way, we talk about #withstanding, we are here together muddling through what's going on in our world right now, figuring out our next best step, in some cases together. But never, ever, when you seek someone's advice, when you look to them for clarity, don't let them be the final voice in the decisions you make for your own life. People you love and trust certainly allow their influence to, enter your headspace, and if you trust what they say to you, allow that to influence your next best step. But don't be taking your next best step based on their thought of what is best for you. It's up to you to follow your own moral compass at all times. Praying to God, praying to the universe, whoever advice you seek from, that is one thing, because that is your connection to the divine. That is your higher self. That is your God self. That is God. When you pray and you say, I need clarity, I need guidance, and many of you are getting much better at talking to your higher selves, by the way, and I love that, because, that's part of this process. But listening to that inner voice of your own, many of us know when we are in healthy relationships or not. We might tell ourselves, that it's a healthy, positive relationship, but oftentimes in the very back of our heads, there's this little voice that goes, are you sure? Is this really what you want or what you need? And sometimes we shove that little voice right out and we continue to compromise ourselves. But don't
allowing your moral compass to be skewed by others than yourself.
Yeah. Can I point this at you for a minute? You feel like chatting?
Yeah, I can chat. I'm down with that.
Okay. Here's Grimmer. There you are.
When Gussy started this conversation, I wasn't too sure which direction she was going to go. I just knew the title was Moral Compass, and we had a basic outline today, of all times, we never do this, of what we wanted to say. And now we're in the process of calling out another group in the region that is talking things that we don't feel is integral and garnering a lot of attention, a lot of money, a lot of influence in the process. Gussy and I aren't by any way, shape, or form saying that their philosophy of spirituality is wrong. It's the methodology in which they go about spreading their philosophy that gets our hackles up. And it's not just this one group in our region that's doing this. I see it all the time. Spiritual manipulation for self-gain. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean self-gain is monetary gain. Sometimes it's just they're gaining this status, this level of feeling that they are the ones in control. They are in charge of these people's destinies. Only they know what's best for those that follow them. And that is so far from the truth. If any one person claiming to be a spiritual leader, a guru, somebody that is walking a divine path and holding up that light so others can follow, will never, a true spiritual person will never tell you that their way is the only way and you must do it this way or else. That is a cult. Always question. Always seek deeper. Always pull back the curtains. Look into those shadows. Your deepest self knows the truth.
And if it doesn't, get out your pendulum, folks. Use your divination tools.
I know that a lot of these organizations out there that are claiming self-help and will help you get onto your spiritual path, and
and they're everywhere now.
They're all over the place. There's hardly a community that we are involved with that can't point us in the direction of a cult that's not too far away. And let's be honest, our hearts know truly, is it a cult or are we just threatened by what they're doing? There's a difference between the two.
Oh, I don't feel threatened by what they're doing.
No, what I mean by that is there's a difference between feeling threatened by what an organization is doing because it infringes upon the way you feel about yourself or the way you think the world is going.
We just don't want to see people getting taken advantage of.
Yeah, and be it cult or not.
Right.
But unfortunately, with some research that I've done over the last couple of days, there's more cults today than there has been in any point in American history.
Grymm, as we're sitting here talking about this, I even on here on 420, I'll get on here and softly chastise myself for not actually teaching the classes that we want to teach. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And then I step back and I realize in a moment of clarity that part of my hesitation all along has been, I don't want to step into that same vibrational frequency as that murky, mucky gunk going on out there. And there are so many people promising to deliver spirituality to folks right now.
Like spirituality can be bagged and...
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many ads come across my Facebook feed for shadow work and wise woman sisterhood shit and all sorts of things like, pardon me. It's every day, many times a day. I get inundated with this class and that master class and this free session. And, it's overwhelming. And
yeah, it is.
I just realized as we were sitting here that has been one of my hesitations. It's not that I'm worried that we can't compete.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I...
No, go ahead.
Although I'm just going to point it back at me and then sneeze some more on these poor folks. It's not that I'm worried that we can't compete, because I absolutely believe in my own path, Grymm's path. I absolutely know that I have wisdom to share, and so does he, and I don't shy away from it because I lack confidence. It is a murky, mucky thing out there, and I think it was Shelby that said recently, of course we've talked about this too, but it recently came up in discussion about how there's just so much backstabbing, not even backstabbing. I don't know what the right word is necessarily. It's just a bunch of fuckery going on within the pagan community itself. There are, even within that construct, which used to be, you would think that when you ran into someone that is a spiritual person, that you could kind of trust that they were an integral sort of folk, but you can't even trust that anymore because...
Well, you can trust that, though, because my personal read is, if somebody tells me that my spirituality is wrong, and as long as I'm not harming others, they're wrong. Goodbye.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, but I guess I wasn't saying it right. It's hard to know when you're inundated with all of these things on social media. It's hard to know where to point your compass sometimes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And, I appreciate that all of you folks tend to point your compass in the same direction as Grymm and I. I think that's why it makes it... Yeah, what is she barking for? She doesn't usually do that. Who knows? That dog, she is something. Anyways. I'm trying to... Mine points east, he says. That's funny. Yeah, but, Sorry, everybody. Hold on. Okay. So, I don't know. Did we convey our thoughts? Trust your own moral compass. You oftentimes know. Even if you don't want to always admit to yourself that you know, you often know. And it doesn't mean that you're supposed to walk away from your relationships either. I mean, there has been a lot of conversations going on about toxic relationships. And, I think we need to have those conversations because there are people that we will encounter in our lives that don't support who we are, what we do, how we think, how we believe. We don't all have to think and believe and feel the same way. As a matter of fact, I'm glad we don't. I'm glad that each one of us sees things a little bit differently from a slightly different perspective. Because when I do lean on you, when I do send you a text and say, got a minute? Because sometimes I need those moments too. Sometimes I need just that reflective clarity. And I want to know that you do have a perspective different from mine so that I can see, well, am I really, shooting up the wrong, alleyway here, or am I on the right track? And
it's hard to balance your morality when you surround yourself with people that think exactly like you do.
That's right. I'm going to point it back at you.
I don't know. Did that statement make sense?
Say it again.
It's hard to balance your morality when you surround yourself with people that think and feel exactly as you do. When you resist new thoughts and new ideas and higher perspectives from coming in, you're doing yourself a disfavor. A couple of days ago, we did a live stream at 420 where I made some candles, each candle intoned with a specific energy. One of them was the candle that we made, the pink one here, for inner reflectiveness.
You brought all 3 of your candles over, didn't you?
I did. I wasn't sure why, but I felt the need to have them here.
Can you show all of them, though?
Yeah, this one, I don't know if you can see them very well.
Making spell candles.
Making spell candles. We stirred into this one, what's locked into this candle, the potential energy that's held within is inner guidance. Seeking your own inner voice and trusting it. Being able to reflect upon your decisions from a point of self-love and respect. Casting away the angries at yourself, the things that you beat yourself up over, casting that emotion aside and truly reflecting from a higher perspective. That's why there's purple on top.
Woohoo! We all love that color.
Reflecting upon our emotions, our actions, and our deeds, the things that we are upset about, the things that we are happy about, all from that higher perspective.
You know what I love about that candle, too?
What's that?
It kind of has, can you hold it back up? It kind of has a rose quartzy color to me. Mm-hmm. And so, that makes me think about, actually, community, but also self-love. Mm-hmm. And I love that candle.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones. I didn't finish the process of making them during the live stream. It wasn't until after the next day and the candles were cured and sitting that I realized that they needed to be capped with something, some other kicker energy tied into it. That's why this one is self-reflection from a higher perspective. This other candle that we made, the purple candle, purple being that higher vibration of existence, higher vibration in thinking and feeling and higher vibrations in your own spirituality. That's what the purple is. It's also embracing the inner witch that's in all of us, capped with self-reflection and love. Being able to look at yourself from that point of love as you bring in that higher vibration of energy. That's what purple is. It's that energy of healing, of love, of warmth, of understanding. It's all of those positive emotions that we can experience wrapped up into one energy of color, being purple. When you're looking at your own moral compass, you're trying to decide if the things that are coming at you are good for you or bad for you. Sometimes you need to stop. Chill the outside voices. Sit down and breathe. And light a candle. And reflect inwardly. And ask your inner voice, which of those inputs that came at me today don't resonate? Once you identify those, release them. They don't need to be a part of your reality.
Did you think of something on your own there?
Just out of the...
Something came to light?
Yes.
What's that? If I may ask.
It's kind of a shadow box in a way. But every time that I hear those shadows from my past, those outside influences that keep cropping up from time to time in the present that try and drag me back down into those murky shadows, a piece of me believes a part of what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me question, am I doing the right thing? And then I have to ask myself, okay, if I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing, maybe I shouldn't be doing anything at all. And I allow it to derail me. I allow it to spiritually stop me.
Oh, yes.
In my development in that vibration.
Gee, can I hold that candle?
Yeah. So Gussy,
put it over here because then we can see it.
Gussy is shuffling her cards right now, which indicates she's getting ready to pull one
Where's
or
it at?
two
Right
or however
here.
many jump out.
I think they can see it down there in the corner.
As she's shuffling the cards, I'm going to bring in some calming energy, get us grounded and centered. We're going to focus on, as the cards are being shuffled, our own inner compass, our own moral guide.
Right now, I'm actually shuffling the Oracle deck to find out which goddess energy is assisting us at this time. We had Mother Mary on Wednesday. We'll see who it is today.
Mother, Father, Goddess, that divine energy that connects us all through that divine cord that goes from source to me, through the ground, reaching out through my roots, seeking out those like vibrations and energies throughout the world that resonate with me, that resonate with you. That is the energy that I call on now. I ask that the words that we speak today be heard clearly and that they be heard by those that need to hear it most. I ask for that volume knob on our inner dialogue to be turned up, and I ask for the frequency dial on that inner dialogue to be shifted to a higher perspective, giving us the ability to look inward for the answers that we seek, making us less reliant on those that would manipulate us and skew us to their way of thinking and understanding.
And so it is. All right. Gonna pull a goddess card just as a guide. This is from the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And these are goddesses from all around the world, all sorts of cultures, all sorts of eras in human existence. Let me just shuffle them quite a few times here, but I just know I think it's this one. Ha! No, it's not that one. Kitty cat's trying to get out the door. Ooh, why is his tail all puffed up?
I don't know. There's something.
Something's going on.
Both the animals are going a little goofy right now.
Yeah, look at his tail.
Yeah.
His tail is like all poofed up. Booger! Did you look out there? Is there
I didn't.
A mouse running around in the church or something? Yeah, I heard the dog get wound up. Boy, come on, cards. Goddess cards. Listen.
You're still waiting for one
I'm
to pop?
still waiting for the one. I'm waiting for the one. Let's get centered, everybody.
Well, one of the things about the gods and the goddesses is they don't always make it easy for us to tap into them. They want us to be able to grab our own energy and reach out to them and connect.
That is true.
And as you shuffled, how many popped out?
Pick one. All right. Well, isn't this interesting? All right. I don't mean to be like so cryptic about this card, but we did pull one, and it's a goddess I'm unfamiliar with, so I'm just going to show you.
To me in reverse, I can hold it up.
Oh yeah, Yamani, and it says golden opportunity. She is a merfolk, and she looks like she is Polynesian, or maybe South, from, well, who knows? She's not from this culture. Not from North America. But let's read this. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Message from Yamani. Like the ocean, life moves in waves and tides. Oh, doesn't it just? Timing is everything. So when an opportunity presents itself, you must dive in at that moment. Everything that you've done to prepare yourself will accompany you. Yet, if you hesitate or procrastinate, another opportunity will surely come along, just as the tides wash in and out continuously. Like the ocean, life is rich with variety and beauty. Enjoy experiencing its various rhythms and allow all doubts to be washed away. I love that, allow all doubts to be washed away, because what we're really talking about right there is following that own moral compass and trusting yourself in the decisions you're making. The various meanings of this card: don't hesitate. This is the right thing to do. Your prayers are being answered. Get ready for a big and happy change. Celebrate success. Know that you're qualified and ready for this new opportunity. Now let's just read this card about Yamani. Some folks pronounce it Yamani. Some folks pronounce it Yamani. She's an African and Brazilian goddess who's credited with creating the sea. Every December 31st, people in Brazil celebrate Yamani by casting white flowers and miniature boats upon the sea waters. You can work with Yamani by putting a tiny boat into the water and asking her for a wish. If Yamani grants your wish, her waves will swallow the miniature boat, and if she denies the wish, the boat will wash up to shore. Since the sea is the root of earth life, Yamani's connection to it makes her a very powerful and nurturing mother goddess. She's a protector, supplier, and one who grants wishes. That's a lovely goddess. I've never heard of her before. There are so many different gods and goddesses out there that it's really, nearly impossible to know and remember and encounter all of them. But that is a really powerful card, and I love that concept of, so often we think of the goddess energy, we think of earth, or we think of the moon. We very rarely think of the goddess energy as being nurturing water as well. And so I love that. Now, sorry, hold on. So that is the goddess card that is in guiding us today. I'm going to put those away over here. We'll keep her out by the candle.
Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them.
Right. Oh, someone here from New Zealand. Nice to have you, Tanya. She says, good morning. Because, of course, it's good morning there in New Zealand. Glad to have you. I'm just about to pull another card, and this one is for the group. Isn't it funny that... Oh, my goodness.
I was just getting ready to ask if I could do it, but it looks like one popped for you already.
Well, it's just so funny, Grymm. So here's my deck that I use. And you know that I'm always very careful with my cards for the most part, because I use them all the time. And today, Grymm and I were talking about something regarding this whole concept of following the moral compass and knowing right from wrong within your own, set of boundaries and what you've learned in your life. And there was this one card whose image came forward so clearly in my mind as he and I were talking. And I was going to point it out to him that, oh, you know what? That one card in my deck came to my mind. But I forgot to say it because things happened and we went on to the next project or whatever we were doing. So just now I pulled these cards out of their bag and all of them are, facing the same direction, except there was one that was facing the opposite direction, right on top. It was facing this way, and it is exactly the card that I was thinking about when Grymm and I were having our conversation. It is the Chariot card. And I'm going to hand that to him. It came out, not reverse. It came out. So I'd like you. Can you read that one? Do you remember talking about charging forward in the moment, and also knowing when to hold back? That's the card that I had.
It's a beautiful card. Try and get it up close here.
With some Yamani energy thrown in there too.
The Chariot tells us today, as we discuss following your moral compass, allowing your integrity to speak for you and not the integrity of others.
If you drive forward under your own
exactly.
Under your own decisions.
You're guiding the Chariot. You're in total control. It's not the beasts of burden that are dragging you along in this chariot. It's the wings of divinity pushing you along. That little angel that sits on your shoulder, that stands behind you, that whispers in your ear all the good things that you could be doing for yourself and for your community. That's who we need behind us. That's who we need to connect to, that divine. I hesitate to say God energy because I'm not one that sways towards the Christian God. But to me, the God energy is that driving force that pushes us forward in our quest for who we are. The goddess energy, that's the one that whispers in our ear and tells us where the pitfalls are, where the roots are growing that we might trip over. They're the ones that walk beside us on the path, guiding our way. When we step into our chariot and decide it's time to go into spiritual battle, and I'm not saying go fight the good spiritual fight, the spiritual battle that rages within yourself, grab hold of the reins, grab them tight, and just let that chariot go. That divine connection, that moral compass, that inner voice that guides you, also guides that chariot. Don't try and skew it to the left and to the right and through this valley and up that mountain. Let it have its head. Let it go. There will be times that the ride gets rocky and bumpy. But when you stay connected to that divinity that stands behind you, with you, around you, that bumpy ride becomes an easier ride. The bumps are still there.
Stay focused, but stay flowing.
Stay focused, but stay flowing. There's no way to avoid the pitfalls, those roots that will break the wagon wheel, so to speak. But because we're all withstanding together, hashtag, how do you do that? Hashtag withstanding together. When my chariot wheel is broken, when the spoke gets dislodged because I've just hit the hardest of rocks and I can no longer move forward, it's nice to know that I've got a group of other chariot riders on paralleling trails willing to throw a rope to me, to toss an extra wheel my way, to stop where they're at for the moment, to make sure that I'm okay.
Helping you tighten some loose screws?
Help me tighten some loose screws. So, I mean, I'm getting lost in all the different ways that the chariot applies to this. You got the white horse and the black horse. You've got the golden circles on either side on those talismans. That's not just an angel behind them either. That is an eagle. That is a falcon. That is
divine connection.
Divine connection. That is, regardless of what faith, creed, religion, spiritual path that you're on, we're all seeking that connection. Let's do it together. Let's line our chariots up in one long line and just let them have their head. Let them run. Because you know what will happen? Just through our own unity, our own withstanding together through all the bullshit and all the fuckery, our chariots will run down and trample those negative energies that are meant to derail us. Because there's more of us than there is of them. They just have us convinced that they're stronger.
Who are you talking about?
All of the negative energies, all of those dark forces, all of those swarms of repression, all of those words of hatred that get thrown around. The more of us that decide to stand together in one common voice will drown out those negative voices, those words of hatred, those actions that are meant to divide will no longer have ears to listen to them. I'm starting to get a little depressed.
Oh no, why are you getting depressed? That's not right. This is 420 tarot. Why are you feeling? No, I'm not calling your feeling depression out.
No. We spend so much time in our lives anymore trying to weigh the good and the bad. And we all want to walk in the direction of the good. But there is such a force that is telling us right now that there's only one path that you can take. And that is the path that leads us down these avenues of war and distrust. And
that's because other people have the chariot.
Other people have taken control of our chariots. The reins are no longer in our hands. We've handed them over to somebody else to guide. So when we hear something on the news or read something in the newspaper or in the coffee shop of some great, terrible thing, we no longer listen to our own voice in our head and say what that terrible thing was, what led up to it, what was the cause, what was the contributing factors. We no longer look at it from a higher perspective down like the eagle. We just let other people say they're the eagles and what they have to say is the reason. And we accept it. We swallow it wholesale. Take your chariot back.
Be your own eagle.
Be your own eagle. When you hear words of division, regardless of what they are, there's one thing that holds true in any of those scenarios is there's two sides to every story. There's more than one perspective. So how do you filter out the two? Listen to your own self. Allow your moral compass to guide you in the direction that you know to be true to you. Don't let others tell you what's true. You discover it yourself. That's it there.
Okay. Gee, I'm not going to hand him a card again if he's going to get all sad and morose.
Well, they call me Grymm for a reason.
They call you Grymm for a reason. Here, let's put Yamani up there. And the Chariot card. Wow, that's amazing that just popped out like that. It was.
That is the card you were envisioning.
That's the one. Yeah, remember I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I have had such an enjoyable I was going to say afternoon. It hasn't been all afternoon, but I've enjoyed this 420 interaction with all of you. And I see there's some people that are just kind of arriving in here, and I don't want to say goodbye because, like, some of you, I'm just seeing your names here for the first time, even though you may have been here listening for a minute.
Oh, it's doing it, Gussy.
Is it really? Oh, good.
It's doing it.
Well, let's see. Oh, yeah. Grymm and I have a little secret that we do to our candles like this. We call it, they're spell candles, but they're also, their intention is for meditation. And if you buy one of our candles, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's kind of mesmerizing to watch the flame and the wax. Sometimes I dislike Fridays because I don't want to have to wait till Monday to talk to you all again. But I also know, that we all need to kind of retreat for the weekend and spend some time with our friends and families. And Monday is a good day to reset again at 4:20. So hopefully those of you that were new will find your way back here on Monday at 4:20-ish. And that's Eastern Standard Time. And those of you that have been around for a while, I sure hope that this weekend serves you well and that you find some peace and love and harmony through the next couple of days. Remember at 9 p.m. each night to pause for peace. That is something that we have been doing now for, Susan and I were talking about this. We can't remember if we've been doing it for 1 or 2 years now, but I think it might be, let's just say easily a year and a half. But every night at 9 p.m., wherever you live, 9 p.m., it doesn't have to be my 9 p.m. At 9 p.m., we ask that you take a minute to just unwind for a moment, ground yourself, breathe in some healing, cleansing, peaceful breaths. And as you breathe out, yes, you're breathing out the energy that you don't need. But as you do, charge it with love and peace and harmony and balance. So that's what Pause for Peace is about. And if enough of us do that, if enough of us focus our energy at 9 p.m. wherever we are pausing for peace, that energy just keeps rolling. And speaking of energy, there are a number of us that meet on the 28th of every month. We call it Purple Door Witch Wave, and we generally have a ritual together or a meditation of some sort, and then we add energy to this peaceful, loving wave of purple energy that we've created, like back in 2015 was the first one. This is something, we kind of envision it as a big cauldron throughout the month. And then at the end of the month on the 28th, we really stir that cauldron of energy and get it rolling around the world so that we can all share in the healing and love. That's the 28th. You're all invited to that. You just got to be a member of the Purple Door. And nowadays, there are a bunch of purple doors out there. So look for the purple door that has the little energy symbol in the front of it, the infinity symbol, the Purple Door. Infinity symbol, the Purple Door. That is us. That is us. That's where you'll find Gussy and Grymm, Covened Up, and the Guild Leaders, and the Purple Door e-zine. That's us. We'd love to have you come along. If you're not a part of that, It's just a little growing community of witchy folks that are just working on taking our next best step together. So I hope to see you next Monday. I hope you have a joyous weekend. I hope that you think about ordering the Purple Door e-zine. It's only $4.20 a month. We'd really love to see that take off one of these days. We've been working diligently on providing this wonderful e-zine for people for over 3 years now. It's not like a newsletter that you receive with updates on classes and such. This is an e-zine full of articles, remedies, recipes, thoughts, written by people just like you that are part of our Purple Door community. And they're all working on themselves. They're all working on themselves and working together and working through things and learning. And we want you to be a part of that too. So I know Susan just put that up there, that our website is openthepurpledoor.com. That's where you can find the e-zine information. Please share it with your friends and family. It would mean a lot to our community to have that flowing in the right direction. All right, y'all. See you on Monday, 4/20. Stay magical.
Stay magical.